like watching the culmination of everything great and have it blow the fuck up. Good day, ladies and gents, my name is Hilzo and welcome to Discuss Things and welcome to Batman, The Killing Joke movie review. This movie has so much content and such a well animated style from the original comics, The Killing Joke, that it is fucking mind blowing at how well they actually managed to recreate everything, and on top of that, to fill it with additional story and additional effects. The movie centers around two origin stories and their development: Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, and the Joker. The Joker gets a full backstory in this movie, which is again the original story of the Joker that you know about, the red mask, about him falling into tons of chemicals and losing his fucking mind after having the most terrible day in his life. What's different in this interpretation of his origin story, however, is how well it was made and how well it was placed between each and every scene. They don't give it straight away to you, they give it bits by bits throughout the whole story, throughout a very emotional scene or a very bad scene or a very cringy scene, and you can actually feel how the story develops in both timelines, the past and the present. You see Batman's involvement in everything. You can actually see why he's so obsessed with Batman, why the Joker is constantly thinking about Batman. Now, for the other backstory, Barbara Gordon, Batgirl, I think that it was done incredibly well. It was done extremely adult-like, if that's the way I should actually present it. It was done with emotion. There are a few scenes that don't feel at place, and particularly one. If you watched other reviews, you probably know what it is by now, but I'm not gonna spoil it. However, if you think about it, if you watch it carefully, you actually understand that this scene is actually done pretty well and pretty spontaneous. It's just how it's supposed to be, because when you watch the follow-up of that scene, you see that it was made just how it should be made. In addition, you have those stories intertwined in the most amazing way. You see the transition from one story to the other, to the third, to the action sequence, to the epilogue, to everything. It's so smooth, it's done incredibly well. It doesn't feel forced on you, it doesn't feel like it's missing something or something is added too much of. You don't feel burdened in any way to watch this movie, but you will feel gripping yourself or gripping your chair or just focusing your eyes on the screen, not be able to look away, because this movie is fucking awesome. This movie is basically the evolution chart of DC animated movies, and this is at the top. For me, personally, this is at the top because you have all the elements of the previous movies. You have the action, you have the lighthearted parts, you have the heavy parts, you have R-rated parts, you have a little bit of a fucked up situation involving Barbara and the Joker, which I'm still not sure what exactly happened, but it doesn't feel good. Like, it feels like terrible. It was done masterfully well, but the act itself was horrible. What he did and what happened. You see what Barbara becomes afterwards. You see how she deals with it. You see how her father deals with it. As you know from the trailers, he's the one, Commissioner Gordon is kidnapped, and basically the Joker is trying to make him lose his mind by having a really bad day. Basically, what has happened to him. This is the plot summary of the whole movie. There is one particular scene in the movie which, if you watch very carefully, you will find how brilliantly it is actually done. Because Batman and the Joker are basically the same, just on the opposite sides of everything. They have so much in common, they have so much that they can relate to each other. They're basically yin and yang. They're perfect in harmony, although everything must be kept in the place that Batman keeps it. Joker is put away and everything. And when you see this scene, when you fucking see this scene, it is amazing. It is possibly the biggest surprise I have ever seen regarding the Joker and Batman in one place. And you see it, you recognize it once you see it if you see my review. I'm sure other reviewers talk about it as well. I'm not sure which one because I haven't watched other reviews. However, there are a few scenes that will make you cringe a little bit, will make you feel uncomfortable. But if when you think about the movie after you watch it, you see that these scenes are basically put there for a reason and they're executed perfectly for that reason. All in all, this movie is amazing, and I wouldn't give it the fucking perfect score because it doesn't exist a perfect movie. It does have some scenes that in the end or at the same moment make you feel a little bit like they're not supposed to be there, even though they are afterwards. However, I would give it the highest 9 out of 10 for my review. I want to talk a little bit about the plot. If you read the comics, you know that this is basically the Joker's one of the biggest schemes of the Joker to basically prove his point that you only need one day, one shitty day to go down the wrong road, because that's what he does. He had a really shitty day and he became a psychopath. So he wants to prove that he's not the only one, that he's not alone. This is the whole plot of the movie. He's not alone in his madness. People are just as gullible and just as susceptible for such a manipulation. He does that really well, and he does prove a point actually, because when you have in real life, when you have such a bad day, you can feel yourself losing the patience, losing the control you usually have, and it glimpses at the reality of our world really well, because we do have people like that just snap from one day or from one single event that went wrong. And when you see that in an animated movie, it's fucking incredible, because not a lot of people actually expect to see such a glimpse to reality. They expect to see a different universe. But when you have this reality check and this glimpse in a movie, it makes you really, really think about the actual world. And this movie does that a lot. This movie is everything but over the top as an ordinary DC movie. It is very contained, very mature. It is very close to real life tragedies and real life events that can happen. It can reach deep inside of you to thoughts that you wouldn't think you will have during a movie like that. It did to me, and it's amazing. I feel actually really well after watching this movie, because there's some movies that feel like a bit heavy on me, even though good, but I feel a little bit burdened and a little bit heavy on the chest when I watch them, because they're just so tragic or just so psychologically demanding. This movie has a bit of that, but it also has the relief, because you see that the reality is always two-sided. There is no one side to everything, and characters in this movie present this really, really well. That's what I'm trying to say. It's so well done. As I said, I would give it 9 out of 10 on my personal scale, which is the standard scale, of course. However, I do want to see a sequel to this movie, because if you stay after the credits and see the final scene, you will. It is basically an open ending. Some of you know what I'm talking about, some of you don't. I personally had to research the last scene to see what's actually happening, because I'm not that big of a comic geek, and I didn't actually knew what was going on. I researched it, and I want to see a continuation on everything. I want to see a sequel. I want to see Batman 2, The Killing Joke 2, or something along the lines which follows up this story further. It is that amazing. This will be one of the first, like one of the very few movies that will do that. But I want it done, and if anyone involved in this movie listens to me, please heed my call and do a second movie, do a continuation, and continue to do them better. So thank you guys very much for watching this review with me. If you enjoyed my review, if you enjoyed the movie, please leave your comments down in the comment section below. Tell me what you think, tell me what you think of the movie, of my review and everything. If you enjoyed my content and if you enjoyed my channel, click the subscribe button, share my clips, whatever, follow me on my social networks, and basically just have fun. My name is Hilzo, this was Discuss Things, and this was the Killing Joke movie review. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay fresh and cheers.